As usual, in the new month, reviews of the most interesting and promising new products of the Russian automotive industry begin in the observations of the month. I will talk about the latest in automotive, construction, special and other equipment, the production of which in Russia is expected or started at the beginning. I'll start with the Industrial Corporation. Last year, it launched programs on exposure to radiation from construction equipment. Today, this program is beginning to bear fruit. Among the new models put into mass production is a 22-ton Caterpillar excavator, whose Western-made components have been replaced with Russian and Chinese ones. In particular, he received a Russian engine and a Chinese hydraulic system. The second novelty is a wheel loader with a carrying capacity of 5 tons, which was joined by one of the plants in the city of Chelyabinsk. So far, this loader is made from China components. This year, the production of its metal parts and cabs will be located. The loader will be available for Russian-made engines. Within 5 years the loader will be completely. 2 more new models of construction equipment found at factories are 2 graders. The first is a heavy grader DZ250 with a mass of 21 tons. The second is a grader DZ140 with a mass of 14 tons, which has become a representative design of the most popular grader in Russia, GS14. Both Fonavans are almost completely. Their only drawback is the lack of a conventional transmission, which does not produce, and it is especially important that production in Russia is carried out by Chinese partners. Another interesting new model for construction appeared under the brand name Galician. This truck crane pioneer expects a lifting capacity of 35 tons. The designer significantly rearranged its crane superstructure from a 4-axle to a 3-axle chassis, which significantly reduced the cost of the truck crane. At the same time, the mass of the crane received non-limiting limit values for unhindered movement on public roads. On a 4-axle chassis, the Galician company will soon launch a new model into production. This is a truck crane Komsomolets. Its carrying capacity is the same, 35 tons, but the boom does not consist of 4, but of 5 retractable sections. As a result, its maximum extension is 41 meters. Plant in the city of Bryansk has developed a new BAZ S3611 truck tractor. Its share in the production of oil and gas assets is needed to compensate for heavy loads in off-road conditions. It is no coincidence that the tractor has 4-wheel drive and independent suspension of all wheels. The novelty received an optimal frame panel cabin from scratch, most suitable for small-scale production. The main plus of the tractor is complete intoxication. The chassis of the BAZ plant itself makes it. Diesel, gearbox and transfer case for sale by Russian factories. The novelty appeared in the LCV segment. Last December, the GAZ plant launched mass production of a serial LCV called Sobolenen in the form of an all-metal van, and in the first case, the dealers began modifying it with an onboard platform. In the engine compartment, Cummins diesel. The truck is offered in 2 versions with a gross weight of 2.5 tons and 3.5 tons. In the first case, the carrying capacity of Sobolenen is 330 kilograms, in the second, almost a ton more. The KAMAZ Compass family of medium-duty trucks, which today includes models with a gross payload of 9 and 12 tons, will be replenished in May with 2 more models with a gross weight of 5.5 tons and 3.5 tons. The first of them is of interest to the customer as a chassis for special add-ons, for example, aerial platforms or tow trucks. The second reason is in the most massive cargo segment today. This segment of the LCV, from which in the past all European and Japanese competitors have gone out of fashion, and which today has opened up to new models. Now let's move on to a story about new products among cars. I'll start with the most important Russian automobile company, which is called Avtobaz and produces cars under the Lada brand. This company has a new anti-sanctions victory. It restored the production of 16-valve engines with a working volume of 1.6 liters, replacing Western components used in them with Russian or Chinese ones. This is an important achievement, because this engine is considered the main one for the most popular family of models called Lada Vesta, the production of which was restored in early April. Another piece of news about Avtobaz. This company acquired a plant in St. Petersburg, previously owned by Nissan. Instead of Japanese Nissan cars, Avtovaz will produce Chinese FA-T77 crossovers, which received the Russian name Lada X Cross 5, at this plant. Most likely, this crossover will be produced using the same technology that Nissan previously produced, that is, they will weld paint and complete car bodies. Production of Lada X Cross 5 will start in June. The Moskvich plant located in Moscow, which in the recent past was a Renault plant, switched from post-assembly of cars to their conveyor production in April. A Renault conveyor 480 meters long, which was stocked a year ago, was launched. Let me remind you that at the end of last year, the Moskvich company began production of the Moskvich 3 crossover in versions with a gasoline and electric engine. At the heart of the design of Moskvich 3 is one of the Chinese cars. In addition, in April, the Moskvich company for the first time removed secrecy from the second model, the serial production of which it is going to organize at the same plant in Moscow before the end of 23. This is a large class sedan called Moskvich 6, which is essentially a copy of one of the models of the Chinese company Jack Motors. The Avtotor company from the city of Kaliningrad, which before the war specialized in the production of several models of passenger cars of European and Korean brands, is now actively mastering Chinese cars in mass production. First, Avtotor launched the Chinese QE5 sedan. And in April, the production of several more Chinese cars began on the assembly line, the vehicle kits for the production of which are supplied by two Chinese companies, Bayek and Chenerai. Interestingly, Chenerai manufactures cars under the SWM brand. The fact is that SWM is a well-known Italian motorcycle brand in the past, which Chenerai revived as an automobile brand in 1414, 30 years after SWM left the market. Interesting deals are taking place in the Russian automotive industry. In April, Avtodom, a large dealer company, completed a deal to acquire a Mercedes-Benz assembly plant located near Moscow. And another major Russian dealer, Avilon, is close to completing a deal to acquire the Russian plant of Volkswagen. It is located near the city of Kaluga. This plant produced 118,000 Volkswagen and Skoda cars in 21, and its estimated production capacity is almost twice that. Apparently, both dealers are counting on further cooperation with Chinese car companies, since it is currently unrealistic to load the acquired factories with any other cars.